Okay, you know the feeling. You're either the one tapping your foot, checking your watch, or you're the one bursting through the door, completely out of breath, spewing apologies. Lateness. It's so frustrating. But what if the real reason for it has less to do with traffic or your alarm clock and, way more to do with the weird, fascinating wiring of your brain? Let's get into it. Ah, yes, the classic 5 minutes away. It might just be the most common, well-intentioned lie in the world. We've all said it, we've all heard it, and we all know it almost never ever means 300 seconds. But why? Why do we do that? What's our deal? And that's really the big question here, isn't it? We tend to think of lateness as this big character flaw, like it's a sign of disrespect or just plain laziness. But what if it's something way more interesting? What if it's not a moral failing at all, but a cognitive one, like a little glitch in our mental software? So, let's dig into that glitch, because it turns out the problem isn't your phone, it's not the bus schedule, nope, it's a fundamental issue happening right inside your brain's own planning department. It all comes down to this one key concept, the planning fallacy. It's a real cognitive bias, a blind spot that pretty much all of us have. I mean, think about it. You know from literally hundreds of past experiences that your commute can take 30, even 40 minutes in traffic. But when you're planning your morning, your brain just kind of optimistically whispers, you can probably make it in 15 today. It does this despite all the evidence in the world pointing to the contrary.
Right. This is such a powerful way to put it. The planning fallacy isn't just you being a little hopeful. It's like an act of mental deletion. Your brain takes the map for your day and just erases all the likely problems. The red lights, the hunt for a parking spot, the 3 minutes it actually takes to find your keys. Poof, they're just gone from the plan.
Okay, so we've got the theory, this whole planning fallacy thing. But what does it actually look like? Because let's be real, not everyone is late in the exact same way. It turns out this little cognitive quirk can show up through a few very distinct personality types. Which brings us to what we're calling the lateness archetypes. We're going to break down 3 common ways our brains make us late. And as we go through them, see if you recognize yourself, or maybe, just maybe, a certain friend. Our first archetype is a total classic. This person is not trying to be late. Seriously, they have the best intentions. They're living in a slightly different reality when it comes to the basic laws of time and space. The magical thinker is the planning fallacy in its purest form. They truly believe they can bend time to their will. That shower that always takes 20 minutes, in their head, it's 5. Making coffee and toast, 1 minute, tops. They live their entire life based on this perfect, frictionless timeline where every single traffic light is green, and their keys are always sitting right by the door. And that's exactly what their internal monologue sounds like. It's pure, unfiltered optimism. And it's not a lie. To them, in that moment of planning, it feels completely, totally possible. Reality, of course, usually has other ideas. Okay, let's meet our second archetype. Now this one's a little more complicated. Their lateness doesn't come from a place of wild optimism about time. It comes from a place of deep anxiety about where they're going.
For the secret dreader, being late is actually a subconscious defense mechanism. If you're really anxious about a big work meeting or you're feeling super awkward about a party, your brain might just start to self-sabotage. You suddenly can't find your shoes, you decide you absolutely have to reorganize the Tupperware drawer right now. It's not that you're consciously procrastinating, it's your brain trying to protect you by delaying the thing that you're dreading. And their internal logic makes a certain kind of sense. Arriving late means you can skip all that awkward small talk before a meeting, or you can miss that first wave of social anxiety at a party. Lateness literally becomes their shield. And that brings us to our third and final archetype. This one is motivated by something else entirely. It's not optimism and it's not anxiety. It's a quiet, often subconscious, need for the spotlight. The main character actually thrives on that little jolt of energy that comes from making an entrance. Think about it. Walking into a silent room where everyone's already seated and all heads turn to look at you? For some of us, that's a nightmare. But for the main character, it's a little hit of adrenaline. Their lateness ensures they don't just blend in, they arrive. And this, right here, is their mindset in a nutshell. Being on time is boring, it's predictable. But arriving just late enough to make a little splash, to have all eyes on you for a moment, well, that's what makes an event feel like a real event. So there you have it. We've met our 3 archetypes, the super optimistic, magical thinker, the anxious, secret dreader, and the dramatic main character. Which one feels a little familiar to you? When you boil it all down, it looks like this.
The magical thinker's big problem is underestimation. Their whole motto is, "It'll all fit, it'll be fine." The secret dreader's problem is avoidance. Their brain is basically screaming, "I don't want to go." And the main character, they're driven by drama, a desire to be noticed. Three totally different psychological reasons, all ending in the same result: being late. And honestly, this is the most important thing to take away from all of this. When you can reframe lateness not as some personal insult, but as a symptom of a cognitive quirk or an emotional state, it changes everything. It can give you a little more patience with other people, and maybe, more importantly, a few better strategies for dealing with yourself.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. The next time you catch yourself saying, "I'm 5 minutes away," just pause for a second and ask yourself, what's really going on here? Are you being a magical thinker, underestimating the world? A secret dreader, avoiding what's coming next? Or maybe, just maybe, a main character, getting ready to make your entrance? The answer might really surprise you.